honored guests, parents, St. Mary staff and graduates, welcome to the École St. Mary High School commencement exercises. I am Dwayne Garrow, one of the vice principals at the school.
I am Mark Nomo, also one of the vice principals at the school. We are going to be your MCs for this year's graduation exercise.
Although the graduation is being experienced virtually this school year, we are extremely proud to have put together a program for all of you that mirrors what we always do at École St. Mary High School commencement exercises. We want to give you an experience that, although unique in nature, is one you can cherish and hopefully always remember.
I would like to introduce the graduates of the band and choir programs to play our national anthem. Now introduce the 2020 graduating class. Our principal, Mr. Fnuff, will receive and congratulate the grade 12s.
Alyssa Abramowitz. Sana Akhtar. Bella Amiot. Jacob Valentine. Catch Valentine. Luigi Miguel Bernuevo. Nicholas Barker. Lauren Bear. Dylan Bell. Matthew Benvenuti. Marissa Benvenuti. Braden Ross. Alexis Bergen. Ryan Bicknell. Morgan Big Eye. Hannah Bill. Justin Biskey. Mason Betcher. Abel Bolokumu. Nancy Bolokumu. Angelo Florence Borgia. Brooklyn Boyer. Trapper Boyer. Kaylin Brandolino. Hui Bui. Drayson Burns. Bradley Shaboyer. Conan Shaboyer. Kelsey McCauley. Daniel Chow. Kaylin Charlotte Keepness. Christopher Chacoin. Justin Christakos. Tanner Chuby. Marielle Constantino. Lucas Cromarty. Sarah Cruz. Jordan Sear. Keenan Daniels. Lane Dayton. Carlo D'Antuono. Kiana Deller Cook. Anson Cook. J.D. Dewhurst Martin. Gabriel Christian Dienzo. Aaliyah Dirks. Pacey DeSaint. Nina Duffield. Chloe Ducion. Joshua Evans. Eric Favel. Joel Favreau. Megan Fedenu. Angela Fern. Claire Fisher. Aaliyah Flett. Logan Fontaine. Michael Brodacki. Janice Garcia. Liam Garneau. Noel Garrison. Sarah Gillis. Emily Goller. Tegan Gongware. Liam Goodwin. Ami Grenier. Kia Gruacheski. Hunter Halkett. Caleb Hammond. Justin Heffernan. Stacy Hine. Terry Garrick. Caleb Hodgson. Emily Honish. Brendan Ironstad Baxter. Joshua Jensen. Julian Job. Brianna Josie Unin. Dusty Josie Unin. Kira Joy. Joseph Kelmikoff. Keegan Kelly. Brooklyn Nodal. Ramon Koenig. Marcus Cowell. Haley Cunard. Haley LaFond. Danica Lalonde. Hans Lauzon. Kyler Leader. Nadia Liberio. Natalie Lorenz Fiddler. Emma Malafant. Caitlin Mamer. Matthew Markling. Justin Martins. Kenneth Mason. Kira Mathers. Shakira McCallum. Matthew LaRock. Avery McKenzie. Rowan McKinnon. Bridget Marasti. Jada Marasti. Ricky Marasti. Kaylee Mercredi. Brianna Marasti. Ariana Michelle. Brianna Miller. Rianda Oren. Joshua Morel. Veronica McDonald. Benjamin Myers. Georgianne Negrama. Crystal Natividad. Shay Nalamagan. Sydney Natamog. Dalen Ray Nadahau. Jamie Nadahau. Carissa Nemish. Emma Newman. Annika Obrigovich. Riley Oreo. Sean Overby. Kent Perizon. Jaden Paskara. Aaron Paulhups. Cassandra Peterson. Aiden Pogorzeluk. Joanne May Custodio. Jaden Rabbitskin. Kyla Rabji. Juan Miguel Raspat. Kurt Ramos. Annika Rath. Pauline Reyes. Faith Richard. Lacey Robbins. Dawn Ross. Brody Rousseau. Cole Ripka. Venus Salvador. Patrick Sanderson. Shay Sather. Oliver Schmidt. Kayla Scott. Glennis Cisaquasis. Justine Seroy. Adara Shears. Isabella Sinclair. Mackenzie Smith. Michael Smith. Stefan Richard. Justine Sandy Point. Gwyneth Swola. Justin Stadnick Southern. Breslin Stephanishin. Nicholas Stephanishin. Savicheslav Stofurik. Quinton Stevens. Emma Story. Jacob Stratichuk. Ursa Tahir. Benjamin Toro. Colby Thomas. Caleb Thomas. Sasha Tolentino. Luke Topping. Colby Trevant Schoenrock. Michaela Treciak. Declan Trudell. Nicholas Taitula. Larisa Valdez. Trisha Valdez. Colby Belmont. Sabian Vergara. Shaylin Vermette. Elizabeth Villeneuve. Bryce Vilnius. Ethan Wanzura. Bernardo Warner. Rhea Webb. Dawson Whitford. Kyle Witkowski. Emma Young. Trey Uzichipi. Dylan Dorian. Abigail Smith. Hannah Bell. Conrad DePeel. Ian Gunn. Xander Henry. Sky Mercredi. Mason Maholowitz Hall.
I am pleased to introduce His Excellency Bishop Albert Devenot, who will share a message and blessing for all the graduates.
Dear graduates, it made me remember a little bit my graduation and how I was really looking forward to it, and we did have it. And you people have been planning for the full year of having this event. Gowns have been bought, tuxedos have been rented, parties have been organized, and here you are in a situation completely different than planned. Quite an experience for you, but also an experience for your teachers and for all of us. Yeah, we're going through a special experience where we are told that we are not in control of how things go. But as you begin this new journey of life, as you open your door to a new horizon, I'm sure you're looking forward to these summer months and to this fall, where you'll find yourself either in universities or colleges, or even staying back home and finding a job, as you reflect on your future and where you want to go with it, how you want to construct it, how you want to plan it. Yes, this event is a great event for you, great time for you in life, as you start spreading out your wings and living your life as you are called to be. Message that I would like to give to you as you leave St. Mary's: always be happy. Choose areas where you're going to be happy, not one that is only a smile, but one that radiates through your heart. So happiness is important. Nurture your friendships, your relationships. Nurture them. They are very needed in the life and journey we have ahead of us. In this COVID time, we are supposed to keep our social distances, but let us keep our hearts close to one another. Yes, be joyful people. Be people who are nurturing relationships. Have a goal and pursue it. Have a goal and pursue it. Don't wait for people to acknowledge your greatness. Just be great. Just be great. Great for others. Great to yourself. Great to your own life. And also as you journey, don't worry so much how people accept you, but worry more about how they're going to miss you. For when they miss you, that means they love you. They care for you. We are funny people sometimes. We sometimes take people for granted. Our friendships, our parents, our grandparents. And when they are gone is when we speak more about them than when they were with us. So take this opportunity to make sure that your absence is felt because of the way you live with one another and with the ones you love. So I can only wish you a happy journey, beautiful life. Let the Lord be part of it. Let the one who has put into your heart this gift of love to share with others, don't depart from it. Don't separate yourself from it, but let it grow. Let it grow. Let love grow within you. It's important for you now, as you grow up, to find and nourish relationships, but know that this love, this gift of love, is something we can't grasp, but is there, that we cannot see, but is needed. For we all need to be loved. Support those who are less loved, perhaps, in their relationships, in their lives. Yes, and by doing so, you will bring what you are called to be. Joyful, happy people, loving the world, loving those around it, because you are changing it, and changing it for the better. So dear graduates, I hope you have a wonderful day, a wonderful summer, wonderful beginning of a new life in the fall. And may the Lord be with you, and may Mary also accompany you as you journey through life. Thank you very much, and have a great day.
I am pleased to introduce Premier Scott Moe, who will bring greetings from the Government of Saskatchewan.
Congratulations to the class of 2020. Graduating ceremonies will be quite different this year, but that is in no way a reflection of the hard work and the dedication that you have shown over the past number of years. This is still a time to celebrate, a time to reflect on all that you have accomplished and will accomplish in the future. Some of you know what you will be doing next. Some of you are still figuring that out, and that's just fine. Today you can look back on this chapter of your life with pride. And as this chapter closes, a new chapter begins. And you can write that chapter any way you would like. And I would encourage you to do so, and to do so with dignity, integrity, and with confidence. Make your family and your friends proud. But most importantly, make yourself proud. There are endless opportunities that are waiting for you, and I have no doubt that you will make the very most of each of them. So on behalf of everyone in Saskatchewan, I would like to once again congratulate all of this year's graduates, and all of the best as you continue on your journey. Take care.
I am pleased to introduce Mayor Greg Dion, who will bring greetings from the City of Prince Albert.
Well, it's been another year, and this has been an interesting year. So one thing about the grads this year, you'll always be reminded of COVID-19. You'll be the class of not 2020, you'll be the class of COVID-19. And it does sadden me that we are not be able to have our celebrations in person. Because one thing I always look forward to is how beautiful our young ladies look that are graduating. They've spent months getting their dresses ready, picking out flowers, shoes, and hairdos, and that's the most exciting time in their life. And you know, it saddens me that they haven't had that opportunity. But I want to thank and congratulate the parents and relatives and grandparents for the little graduations that we have been. I was very fortunate to attend some of them, and it was kind of neat, you know, there was a small group of us, and we brought the grads in by convertibles and went around the neighborhood and honked, and people got out and cheered and supported. So it was kind of home, you know, it was old hometown, you know, people thinking of our grads and coming together. So I want to wish you the best. This is a big turning point in your life. And when you're really going to notice is this September. You're not going to notice it shortly after grad. But this September, you're going to think, well, let's go out for coffee. And you're going to phone your friend and, oh, sorry, gone to the University of Saskatchewan. Sorry, gone to the University of Regina or Polytechnique. That we will all move on. We'll be around for the summer to enjoy our company. But this fall is when you'll realize the change of life, because that's when we go on to further our future and our career, whether it's through education or through job skills, that we all move on. So that'll be the sad part and realize in September. But with that said, I want to wish you all the best in the future. You have proven to us that you're dedicated and you can move forward. And I want to wish you all the best and good luck in the future.
I am pleased to introduce Mrs. Susie Stubbs, the chairperson of the Catholic School Board. She will now bring greetings on behalf of our school division.
Your Grace, Bishop Albert Thevenot, Your Worship, Greg Dion, dignitaries and honored guests. I am Suzanne Stubbs, Chair of the Prince Albert Roman Catholic Separate School Board of Education. It is an honor and privilege to acknowledge the class of 2020. Congratulations on achieving one of the most important milestones you will experience in your life. The Prince Albert Roman Catholic Separate School Division has endeavored to work with our students, staff, and families to provide quality Catholic education since 1887, and today you join a long list of successful graduates from our 133-year history. Our board is proud of all our students and especially proud of our graduates here today. These graduates are a noteworthy group of academic students who have earned impressive academic rankings and attained scholarships in doing so. They are also leaders in our community, as they have been a part of countless activities such as performing in our Model UN, mock trials, fit bands, choirs, musicals, glee clubs, and band. Played in sports, provincial championships, and interprovincial tournament finals in many sports such as volleyball, football, and basketball. Serving the poor for social justice, Advent and Lenten projects, volunteering time at the hospital, parishes, and the greater community, fundraising for cancer research, the Victoria Union Hospital, and collecting food for the food banks. We know that these graduates will continue to inspire others with their endeavors and motivate others to do their part in the world around them. Our graduates leave École St. Mary High School with a strong foundation of educational and academic experiences, as well as a strong faith experience that will guide their lives forever. The graduation theme, Love Can Change the World, recognizes that these students are already a remarkable group of young adults who will go out and transform the world. They will use all they have been taught through the academic teachings, and more importantly, they will understand that God's love can strengthen them each step of the way. So to the parents and guardians of our graduates, there's good reason to be proud of your children. They are great ambassadors for the future and inspire hope to those around them. Well done and congratulations, parents. Thank you for entrusting your children in our care. Graduates, as you stand on the threshold of a wonderful and exciting future, a future that will be filled with many blessings and challenges, be assured that you are leaving high school with a solid foundation that was strengthened by God's unconditional love. Be confident in who you have become. And on behalf of the Board of Education and all staff, enjoy your special day. Congratulations and God bless.
On behalf of this year's graduating class, Claire Fisher will welcome you.
Hello and welcome, graduates, parents, family members, St. Mary's staff, and other guests. My name is Claire Fisher, and I am honored to greet you all today. First off, I want to congratulate my fellow graduates. Though some finished their classes sooner than others, we have all worked so hard to get here. Just imagine, if things were normal, the past few weeks would have been filled with goodbyes, skipped classes, and many more memories. I know the general attitude is that graduating this year is a bit of a rip-off, and I felt that way too at first. Until a family friend told me that I should be glad to graduate this year. At first, of course, I rejected this opinion until they asked me what I remembered about grad last year. Or the year before that. Nothing stood out to me, and I realized that if you were to ask someone about grad 2020, they would likely tell you that they remember that one. That was the year they had virtual grad because of the pandemic. What a unique opportunity to attend grad in your pajamas, or out at your family cabin, or being able to share the video with a family member who never would have been able to attend otherwise. We have been given the chance to celebrate graduation in our own personal way, and no one has ever had that before. From this experience, and with everything that is happening in our crazy world right now, wherever or whenever we're watching this video, I want each of us to realize that we have been given the tools to overcome whatever life throws at us. We know that life can change in an instant all on its own, but we can also be the ones to turn the tide and make life follow our lead. In some way, big or small, the class of 2020 will change the world. So let it be your love, your passion, your dedication, your intellect, or even just your sheer will that shapes our future. Before I conclude, I want to say thank you to our teachers, support staff, administration, coaches, conductors, directors, and all those who provided us with a wonderful learning environment for the past 4 years. You guided our growth and helped us become the strong individuals we are today. Thank you. I would also like to thank my peers. Without your support and friendship, I don't think any of us could have made it this far. I will miss all of the time we spent together, and I so wish we had more. In the words of Andy Bernard, I wish there was a way to know you're in the good old days before you've actually left them. Congratulations, class of 2020. Thank you, and again, welcome.
Now for the presentation of subject awards. Each year, with the generous support of various community members and local businesses, we recognize the academic achievements of graduating students in 30-level courses. Students receive an academic medal from the school as well as a bursary. A student is only eligible to win one subject award. If a student is the only one that qualifies for multiple awards, they are entitled to receive each one. It is also important to note that some students completed the 30-level courses during the grade 11 school year.
Alternative Education 38, sponsored by École St. Mary High School, SLC, presented to Bridget Morasti. Band 30, sponsored by Prince Albert Lions Club, presented to Georgianne Nagrami and Joanne May Quistado. Biology 30, sponsored by the Melifont family, presented to Jordan Sear. Calculus 30, sponsored by Prince Albert Optimist Club, presented to Justin Martins and Venus Salvador. Chemistry 30, sponsored by, in memory of Baldwin Malik, presented to Ethan Wanzura.
Choral 30, sponsored by Prince Albert Passport, presented to Rowan McKinnon and Quinton Stevens. Christian Ethics 30, or Education Chrétienne 30, sponsored by Prince Albert St. George CWL, presented to Cassandra Peterson, Lacey Robbins, and Shaylin Vermette. Computer Science 30, sponsored by École St. Mary High School, presented to Colby Belmont. Construction and Carpentry 30, sponsored by Econo Lumber, presented to Lucas Cromarty. Cree 30, sponsored by École St. Mary High School, presented to Dalen Natauhau.
Drafting and Design 30, sponsored by Mike and Marlene Mitchell, presented to Carlo Diantuano. Drama 30, sponsored by Upstage Productions, presented to Stacy Hine. Earth Science 30, sponsored by Saskatchewan Mining Association, presented to Nina Duffield. ELA A30, sponsored by the Ladies of St. Mark Parish, presented to Daniel Chow and Benjamin Myers. ELA B30, sponsored by Prince Albert High Noon Optimist Club, presented to Alea Dirks and Clara Fisher.
ELA 31, sponsored by Prince Albert Elks Club, presented to Matthew Benvenuti. Entrepreneurship 30, sponsored by École St. High School, presented to Oliver Schmidt. ESRT 30, sponsored by Dennis Moviu in memory of Celine Nelson, presented to Brody Rousson. Food Studies 30, sponsored by École St. High School, presented to Annika Obrigovich. Foundations of Math 30, sponsored by Jennifer and Corey Durand in memory of Rebecca Durand, presented to Janice Adrian Garcia, Kia Grachowski, and Kyla Rabji.
French 30, sponsored by Leo Pinel, presented to Maria Webb. Functionally Integrated 30, sponsored by École St. High School, presented to Hannah Bell. Graphic Arts 30, sponsored by North Star Printing, presented to Haley LaFawn.
History 30, sponsored by Robin Solenko in memory of Rebecca Durand, presented to Luigi Miguel Bernuevo, Brian Bicknell, Megan Fednu, Noel Garrison, Justin Heffernan, Mason Mihalowicz Hall, Mackenzie Smith, Bryce Vilnas, and Emma Young. Horticulture 30, sponsored by Prince Albert Elks, presented to Tanner Chuby and Kayla Scott. Law 30, sponsored by Pajamchuk Sheridal Hunter, a law office, presented to Kaylin Charlotte Keepness and Chloe Ducion. Music 30, sponsored by École St. High School SLC, presented to Jamie Natauhau. Native Studies 30, sponsored by École St. High School, presented to Brooklyn Boyer. Physical Education 30, or Education Physique 30, sponsored by École St. High School SLC, presented to Alyssa Abramowitz.
Physics 30, sponsored by Gray's Chemist, presented to Caleb Hammond. Pre-Calculus 30, sponsored by Source for Sports, presented to Bella Amiot and Riley Oriole. Psychology 30, sponsored by Leon's Furniture, presented to Annika Ratt and Michaela Tretsiak. Science Sociale 30, sponsored by Mike and Marlene Mitchell, presented to Aaron Paulus. Theater Arts 30, sponsored by Upstage Productions, presented to Sean Overby.
Visual Art 30, sponsored by Mike and Marlene Mitchell, presented to Aaliyah Flett, Ariana Michelle, and Abigail Smith. Wildlife Management 30, sponsored by École St. High School, presented to Catch Valentine and Faith Richard. Workplace and Apprenticeship Math 30, sponsored by St. Mark's Knights of Columbus, presented to Declan Trudell.
Now for the presentations of special awards. École St. Mary High School sponsors the annual awards program to recognize deserving students for their achievements. The generous contributions of many community supporters by providing scholarships and other awards makes this day memorable for all. What is perhaps most rewarding about this support is that it shows students and parents that the larger community is interested in education of our youth and is prepared to applaud their achievements. Each of the recipients of the special awards will also be presented with a Medal of Academic Excellence that has been donated by École St. Mary High School.
First academic, presentation of a scholarship donated by Novus Law Group, Wilcox, Holash, and McCulloch, presented to Caleb Hammond. Second academic, presentation of a scholarship donated by the École St. Mary Parent Association, presented to Claire Fisher. Third academic, presentation of a scholarship donated by the B&B Asheville, presented to O'Reilly Oreo and Oliver Schmidt.
The General Proficiency Award is given to the students who makes the most complete contribution to the whole life of École St. Mary High School. The 5 areas of school life considered are academic, sports, art, social life, and religious life. Presentations of a scholarship donated by École St. Mary High School, presented to Ethan Wanzura. The Deportment Award and its male counterpart, the Most Gentlemanly Student Award, are determined by a vote of all grade 12 students. Deportment, presentation of a scholarship donated by École St. Mary High School, SLC, presented to Kyla Rabji. Most Gentlemanly Student Award, presentation of a scholarship donated by École St. Mary High School, SLC, presented to Caleb Hammond.
The École St. Mary Daycare Bursary recognizes the importance of post-secondary training and achievements of young parents who have a child in the St. Mary Daycare. Presentation of a scholarship donated by the St. Mary Daycare Board, presented to Nancy Bolacumo and Lauren Bear. The Most Progressive Student Award recognizes growth in academic and personal maturity during the student's years at École St. Mary High School. Presentation of a scholarship donated by St. Michael's Parish Knights of Columbus and Lake Country Co-op, presented to Matthew Benvenuti and Haley LaFond. The Grandparents Award is awarded to students who demonstrated excellence in the arts, academics, athletics, and persistence. Presentation of scholarships donated by the Grandparent Committee. The Grandparent Award for academic excellence presented to Tanner Chewy. Kira Joy, Ben Myers, and Shaylin Verment. Grandparents Award for Fine Arts Excellence, presented to Brooklyn Nodal. Grandparent Award for Athletic Excellence, presented to Luke Topping and Kyle Witkowski. Grandparent Award for Persistence, presented to Brooklyn Boyer and Ursa Tahir. The Christian Ethics Continuing Education Award is given to the student that actively contributed in Christian service at St. Mary High School and in his or her local parish. Presentation of a scholarship donated by St. Joseph Parish, Knights of Columbus, presented to Tegan Gongor.
The entire Fine Arts Award is given to the student who is furthering his or her education in fine arts, or a student who has shown outstanding achievement in the area of fine arts. Presentation of a scholarship donated by Canadian Tire, presented to Sean Ogilvie and Amy Grenier.
The Monsignor Yelinsky Service Award is given to a student who has demonstrated outstanding Christian service within the school setting. Presentation of a scholarship donated by St. Joseph Parish, presented to Sasha Tolentino. The Nigel Weir Memorial Scholarship is awarded to a male and female athlete involved in the sport of volleyball who have demonstrated sportsmanship, heart, a hard-working attitude, and mentorship in helping their teammates reach their goals. Presentation of a scholarship donated by the Nigel Weir Memorial Fund, presented to Jordan Sear and Rhea Webb.
The William Harlock Math Award is awarded to a student who demonstrates a high level of engagement, work ethic, persistence in his or her math courses. Presentations of a scholarship donated by the family of William Harlock, presented to Daniel Chow and Georgianne Nagrami. The FLIPA scholarship is to be used toward the tuition of a post-secondary education program in French, or any program that specifically enhances the development of French language. Presentation of a scholarship donated by the French Language Instruction Parents Association, presented to Shaylin Verment and Rowan McKinnon.
The École St. Mary Staff Award is presented to a student who excels in academics, social activities, athletics, and the arts, and who exhibits Christian values. This is to be used to assist in furthering his or her education. Presentation of scholarship donated by the 2019-2020 École St. Mary staff, presented to Michaela Tretiak. The Karen Albert Award is given to a student who has achieved graduation by overcoming adversity. This student is diligent and committed to their studies. It represents the ideas promoted by St. Mary High School. Presentation of a scholarship donated by École St. Mary High School, presented to Xander Henry.
The Prince Albert Area Teachers Association Doreen Lloyd Memorial Scholarship is named after a teacher who was selfless, devoted to her profession, her students, her church community, and society at large. The scholarship is given in her honor to a grade 12 student judged to be the most academic conscientious. Presentation of a scholarship donated by the PAATA presented to Kyla Rabji. The Prince Albert and Area Teachers Association Scholarship is given to a grade 12 student judged to be the most academically conscientious. Presentation of a scholarship donated by the PAATA presented to Riley Oreo.
The Royal Canadian Legion Award is awarded to a student who has a parent, guardian, or grandparent who serves or has served in the Canadian Armed Forces. Also considered are academics, attendance, extracurricular activities, community service, and membership in a cadet militia group. Presentation of a scholarship donated by the Royal Canadian Legion, presented to Noel Garrison. The Sacred Heart Cathedral CWL Council Scholarship is awarded to a student who has been involved in pastoral activities and having high academic standing. Presentation of a scholarship donated by the Sacred Heart CWL Council, presented to Aaliyah Dirks and Glynis Sisaquasis. The Sisters of Our Lady of the Cross's Values Scholarship is awarded to a student who lives the following core values of Mount St. Joseph's Home: hospitality, spirituality, compassion, collaboration, and accountability. Presentation of a scholarship donated by Mount St. Joseph, presented to Emma Young.
The Canadian Federation of University Women's Scholarship is presented to a female student with high academic standing. The goal of the award is to encourage women pursuing university education. Presentation of a scholarship donated by the Canadian Federation of University Women Prince Albert Club, presented to Clara Fisher and Erin Paulson. The Western Inspirational Award is presented to a student with a motivated and conscientious leadership and is to be used for post-secondary education. Presentation of a scholarship donated by Western Financial Group, presented to Alyssa Abramowitz.
The Our Lady of the Prairies Foundation Scholarship is presented to a student who exhibits the qualities of a good school citizen and has attained the requirements for a post-secondary program. Presentation of a scholarship donated by Our Lady of the Prairies Foundation, presented to Annika Rath. The Dennis Blyer Memorial Scholarship is awarded to a student who is dedicated to Christian service in the areas of social justice and stewardship. This student demonstrates leadership with a genuine commitment to living the gospel values and serving the faith community both at the school and parish level. Presentation of a scholarship donated by the Prince Albert Catholic Education Foundation, presented to Stacy Hine and Colby Belmont.
The Top Shelf Award, Jacob Light Memorial Scholarship, recognizes a student who exemplifies high moral standard, strength of character, leadership skills, and community involvement. Presentation of a scholarship donated by the family of Jacob Light, presented to Ryan Bicknell. The École St. Mary High School Scholarship recognizes academic excellence, leadership, and involvement in school activities that promote school spirit. Presentation of a scholarship donated by the Prince Albert Catholic School Board, presented to Bella Amiot.
The John M. Culinary Memorial Scholarship recognizes academic excellence, leadership, and involvement in school activities that promote school spirit. Presentation of a scholarship donated by the John M. Culinary Estate, presented to Caleb Hammond. The Governor General Scholarship and Medal are donated by the Knights of Columbus of Prince Albert in conjunction with the Governor General's Medal, which is donated by Her Excellency the Right Honorable Julie Payette. These honors are presented to the student who's obtained the highest academic standing through their grade 11 and 12 years combined. There are 5 independent clubs of this Catholic men's service organization within Prince Albert which have made contributions toward the scholarship. The Governor General's Scholarship and the Governor General's Medal are presented to Riley Oreo. valedictorian for the 2019 graduating class is Caleb Hammond. Caleb, please come forward.
Good day, fellow graduates, staff, friends and family of the 2020 graduating class. My name is Caleb Hammond, and I am honored to represent this year's graduating class. It's rather obvious that this year's graduation is different, but nonetheless, we are virtually gathered here today in celebration of our accomplishments over the past 13 years. To start off, I would like to extend a few thank yous to our parents and guardians of the 2020 graduating class. We would like to thank all of you for your commitment and dedication to our education. Thank you for dropping us off and picking us up every single day, making lunch every morning, helping us with our homework, even though you use ancient versions of math. Thank you for risking your lives for us so we can learn how to parallel park, for helping us get part-time jobs, and lastly, and most importantly, thank you for helping us learn how to become adults. Without your faith in us, we are absolutely nothing. You believed in us literally since day one, and on behalf of the entire graduating class, we thank you. To the staff of St. Mary's, I honestly wish I had the time to thank each of you individually. Not only have you taught us the quadratic formula through singing silly songs, Mr. Cito, you have taught us how important Shakespeare is. You have taught us how the mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell. But beyond that, you have instilled in us a passion for math and science, history and law, music and art, sports and athletics, English and French, religion and Catholic studies, etc., etc. You went out of your way to help us break through our comfort zones and help us with our needs when you could have chosen to enjoy a quiet, peaceful morning or afternoon. Without complaint, you spent long nights and weekends away from your families on sport and music adventures with us. And we cannot forget every spilled Tim Hortons coffee you helped us clean. Above all, you've assisted us in achieving our goals through hard work, respect, and kindness. On behalf of the entire graduating class, we thank you. Lastly, to my peers, the memories made, laughs shared, and work we did shows how bright the future is for us. Wherever we end up, I know with assurance that we will find success in adulthood. The amount of compassion and care you have shown one another will be reflected in the community of Prince Albert and wherever life may lead you. To my classmates, thank you. With the thank yous out of the way, my fellow graduates, it's time to ask ourselves an important question. Where do we go from here? The COVID-19 pandemic undeniably poses a challenge to where do we go from here. My friends, our generation faces much criticism. We're lazy, we're not ready to be adults, we're too soft. Though some of these may be true at times, I hope the pandemic has shown the world otherwise. I'm sure we all remembered March 16th, Mr. Furneuf telling us to go home. The sheer anxiety some of us felt, and I guess the eagerness some of us felt, knowing that the year was over sooner than expected. Although some of us were reluctant to leave, wanting to say our last goodbyes, we went home. Not knowing if we would ever see each other again, we went home scared of what the future may bring. Regardless, we still persevered. We signed up for online classes, learned new skills. Some of us even had the opportunity to find jobs during this stressful time. And we made the most out of quarantine. Even though the pandemic has impacted us all in a variety of ways, we remain strong and continue to respect the health and safety of others. Though the future is still unpredictable, I am certain that we, the grads of 2020, will not only survive, but thrive against whatever challenges may come our way. Another issue with regards to where do we go from here is social media. On a daily basis, we are confronted with new information about the coronavirus, about climate change, about politics, about other social injustices in the world. We're just bombarded every day with information and misinformation at a tremendous volume. This poses a new problem for us. How are we to separate fact from fiction? Well, 30 years ago, Nelson Mandela held a speech for a group of young teenagers in Boston. While his words echoed truth back then, they continue to teach a valuable lesson today. He contended that education is the most powerful weapon you can use to change the world. So, graduates, when we are faced with uncertainty and an overwhelming amount of opinions, I am confident that St. Mary has given us the weapon of education that will separate fact from fiction and help us find solace in that which is left unknown. Ultimately, those numerous and albeit painful current event responses, essays, research projects we have done the past 4 years have taught us how to be educated citizens. So as you go forward and you confront conflicting information, know that you have been well prepared to deal with your future personal dilemmas from your experience at St. Mary. 50 years from today, history will recall the actions, decisions, and inactions made by our generation. Therefore, it is up to us to determine if this is in a positive or negative light. Judging by the strong and noble choices our generation made during these trying times, I have the utmost confidence that we are on the right side of history. At the present day, our country and the rest of the world is dealing with a long-standing, pressing issue that challenges where do we go from here, as it relates to racial injustices in society. At the beginning and end of each school year, Mr. Furniff reminds us, we are made perfect in God's image. This quote cannot be needed more in today's day and age. At the end of the day, folks, there's just one kind of folk, the human race. As a brown kid, I could not be prouder of our school's ability to treat each and every student with equality. I have been blessed with the privilege of forming close relationships with people that embrace my culture, not just tolerate it. At St. Mary's, we were taught to love as Jesus loved. That is, to love our family, our friends, our neighbors, strangers, and even our enemies. Graduates, when we see acts of racism, or any injustice for that matter, we are expected to stand up for what is right. By donating, attending peaceful protests, fighting for what's right. But before we act, we must educate ourselves. Through uncomfortable and tough conversations with our families, friends, teachers, neighbors, politicians, leaders, and enemies, we can help transform society's views on racial biases. Though many things in this life may be nuanced, racism is a cruel worldview and is indefensible and frankly despicable. We still have a long path to walk before systemic racism is abolished, but St. Mary's, our school, is leading the way. To close, I encourage us to evoke this year's grad theme. Love can change the world. The truth in this statement is so profound. How can love change the world, you may ask? How can I shape society? Well, one human alone cannot change the world. It takes the love of you and me together to change it. I know for a fact we are all leaders in our own respective rights, and it is crucial that we use our leadership skills for the common good in our futures. Let us continue to not only remember, but practice what love is. Love is patient, love is kind. It does not envy, it does not boast, it is not proud. It does not dishonor others. It is not self-seeking, it is not easily angered. It keeps no record of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. It always protects, always hopes, always trusts, and always perseveres. It does not tweet lies, it does not promote hate, and it is not silent. Love honors the physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual health of others. Love does not conceive stereotypes, prejudices, or acts of discrimination against one's skin color, against one's gender, against who somebody chooses to love, or against who somebody chooses to be. Love does not kneel on the necks of the oppressed. My friends, I have seen that love in each and every one of you. Although today is our day to celebrate our accomplishments over the past 13 years, tomorrow is the day we choose the future we want.
I now invite our principal, Mr. Mark Phaneuf, to give some concluding remarks.
Thank you. Good morning. Members of the clergy, dignitaries, school board members, family, friends, École St. Mary High School staff, fellow administrators, and of course, our guests of honor, this year's graduating class. Before I start with my address, I must take time to acknowledge and thank the following. The staff here at École St. Mary High School is a giving group of people who help pull together the elements leading up to these graduation exercises, as well as the awards. The task of preparing for this year's graduation and awards was unlike any before. But the staff pulled together to help deliver a graduation worthy of this fine group of grade 12s, given the restrictions we faced. Thank you to the award sponsors, who formally recognize the achievement of our graduates and provide much appreciated support. Although you could not be here physically to present the awards to our students this year, you chose to stay connected to our school and these students. For that, I thank you. To our Prince Albert Catholic School Board and CEC staff, for your tireless efforts and commitment to Catholic education, I thank you. The gift of Catholic education reminds us of the responsibility we have to ensure that our schools are equally communities of learning and faith. Like each and every one of you watching today, Catholic education is a precious gift which we must never take for granted. And to Bishop Albert and the rest of our clergy, who are always willing to support and celebrate Catholic education, and more specifically our students and our staff, thank you. We greatly value our relationship with you. Graduates, I ask you to take a few moments to reflect upon the fact that your journey to get here was not a solitary one, but rather a journey filled with the support and love of those around you. Love that has been present over the past few days, months, and years, bringing you ultimately here today to your graduation. Most obvious is the love that you have received directly from family, friends, and school staff members, which has endured to bring you to the here and now. I ask you also to reflect on the most enduring love, God's love, which has not only been here during your time here at École St. Mary, but has always been here and will always be there. I would be remiss if I didn't mention how our school year and our lives were abruptly altered with the emergence and the spread of COVID-19, the subsequent suspension of classes in March, and the recommendations and orders of every level of government, which had us physically distanced. Our world changed in a way that none of us asked for or wanted. Under the mandates of government, I received the directive to send us all home. It was difficult at the time, but necessary. So what have we learned at the human level? Many in society characterize youth as lazy, entitled, and selfish. I would use a different term to describe youth and this graduating class in particular. I'd use the term essential. When the majority of society was ordered home, those in essential sectors were committed to serving important roles and filling gaps. We stayed at home to protect our medical practitioners and caregivers, the emergency workers, and ultimately society. But our youth, under the protection and watchful eye of their employers, continue to serve and in many cases worked more than ever before. Some in paid positions in grocery stores, fast food and pickup only restaurants, service stations, lumber yards, and home improvement stores, just to name a few. Some in unpaid positions such as caregivers and helpers. But you pitched in and showed society and future generations how truly selfless and giving you are. It is true, as Teresa of Avila said, Christ has no hands and feet but yours. I personally thank you as you have served as the hands and feet of Christ for all of society. Are you ready to move on to be the leaders of tomorrow? You have already demonstrated that you are. It has been said you never miss what you have until it is gone. Those small acts of kindness I asked each of you to consider sharing at our opening liturgy this year were no longer a hello in the commons, holding a door open, or asking if someone who had dropped something needed some help. It turned into the pure joy of seeing you during my weekly grocery run, through a drive-through window, filling up at a gas station, or picking up supplies for an emergency plumbing fix. There was pure joy in those interactions you shared with me and that you shared with others. Those are the small acts of kindness I spoke of. Think of them, and I know you will cherish them. FaceTime became family and friend time. We live in a Snapchat, Instagram, and TikTok world where we are focused on one instant in time. This global pandemic has reoriented us to think of the long term, the greater good, and what we can do for others. Showing love to our neighbor, even those we have never met. This year's graduation class has chosen the theme, Love Can Change the World. And in showing love to one another, and for those we don't know even, and many we will never meet, we've accepted that terms like social distancing and flattening the curve meant we'd need to accept our lives and be changed for a period of time. A global pandemic has changed the world. That is undeniable. But so is the fact that this student body, these grade 12s, and our school community showed they were ready to make sacrifices to do their part. With certainty, I can publicly state that your actions and attitudes have changed the world and changed it for the better. Just as far-reaching as the love Jesus brought the world changed it forever, so too has the love you are sharing and showing, as it has already saved numerous lives, which will be compounded on into many more as time goes on. How far-reaching is our school community? We have students coming from over 60 different schools and communities at École St. Mary High School. We had students driving as far as 9 hours away to come accept their diploma and gift. That's really how far-reaching our school community is. And truly, it will go beyond that as well. By being selfless and showing love for those that you have never met and yet to have been born, you have in fact changed the trajectory of history for the better. Your love has literally, and in a demonstrative way, changed the world. The past 16 weeks are an example of what I've seen from this group over the past 4 years. How caring, mature, and selfless this group of graduates really is. We will look back, as will future generations, with admiration to a group who have changed the world through love. You have been leaders in your own way. Although recent months have been difficult to understand, please accept that God's love and grace are present with you. God's grace and love are given freely. We need do nothing to earn them. We merely have to be open to accept them. These gifts, combined with the unique gift that you are to the world, make each of you essential in a different way, an essential part of a faith community and the broader community. This morning, very profoundly, Bishop Albert reminded us, don't wait to be acknowledged for your greatness. Just be great. The world needs each and every one of you. As your principal, I ask you to remember a few things as you leave high school. First is how we should live our lives. The blueprint handed to us over 2,000 years ago is as simple as it is profound. Love one another as you would be loved, and know that God's love is always there. When things appear at a low or at a high, know that God is there to help carry you or celebrate with you, just as we can for each other. Second, be thankful for the gifts you have been given and are able to enjoy and share. Not only is your life a precious gift, but you are a precious gift to those around you. Please remember the small gestures of kindness and love that we share, as they are what help make our lives of ourselves and better, and others better, and in a cumulative way, make the world a better place. Third, remember God couldn't love you more than He does right now. That doesn't change 5 minutes from now, or when you make a mistake. As perfectly as each of you are made in God's image, we are reminded we share a human experience in which we were all imperfect. But through all, God's love is unwavering. So fourth, be forgiving. The peace you can bring to yourself and those around you by seeking reconciliation rather than harboring hard feelings is as liberating as it is healing. By loving and forgiving, you are the hands and feet of Christ when those around you need you and you're loved the most. Every group that graduates leaves their mark on the school as they leave. This class will undoubtedly be remembered as one of maturity and strength. As this year's graduating class, you have served the rest of our students well as role models, and for that, I personally thank you. The respectful way in which you all approach the changes to the school year and graduation exercises here this morning is a testament to your character and maturity. To a person, each of you graduates I spoke to said you understood and were gracious in thanking me for what we have done, given the circumstances as far as graduation goes. Through your reverence and participation during our school masses and celebrations over the past 4 years, you gave each and every one of us the opportunity to celebrate together the gift of each other. It has been an honor and a privilege to have known and worked with this group of graduates. I'm about to say something that I've never said to a graduating class in the past. For whatever reason, class reunions have gone by the wayside. Social media, email, free long distance plans, I'm sure they all have contributed in their own way to the decline of having these class reunions. I will state that if you choose to organize a reunion 10 years from now, I can promise there will be a mid-60s, hopefully retired principal, and a whole host of other staff who would be honored to gather and celebrate a group of students worthy of being celebrated. I will save the weekends near the end of June 2030 in what I am sure will be a nearly empty social calendar to celebrate with you and alongside of you. You can book it. Please remember that you were each indeed made perfectly in God's image. Have the faith to use your God-given talents and abilities and be accepting of God's love and graces. As you leave your family gatherings this morning and go out into the world. Go forward in life full of love, courage, confidence, and mercy. God bless and know now that you as alumni have the awesome responsibility and privilege of calling École St. Mary High School yours. Remain loving, remain courageous, remain hopeful, but above all else, remain semper veritas, ever true. Thank you.
Before this year's exercises end, I'd like to thank all parents, guests, donors, and friends who have made this day so special for the graduates. And to you, the graduates, you made this year one to remember for all. To your leadership, kindness, you made the school a worthwhile place to be. We wish you the best of luck in the future. This year's grad song is entitled Sunday's Best by Services. So now would be the time, right, when we start the song, if you have your cap around you, toss it as high as you can as we play it. Take care, everyone. Thank you.
Hey, feeling good, like I should. When in dark, I walk around the neighborhood. Feeling blessed, never stressed. Got that sunshine on my Sunday best. Yeah, hey, every day can be a better day despite the challenge. All you gotta do is leave it better than you found it. It's gonna get difficult to stand, but hold your balance. I just say whatever, cause there is no way you're around it. Everyone falls down sometime, but you just gotta know it'll all be fine. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Hey, feeling good, like I should.